Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Steve. My grandfather was a farmer. He was by trade, a tenant farmer, which, best to my knowledge, and this was a long time ago, I think that meant that the compensation that he received was that he got to live in a house on the farm, and he was able to partake of some of the vegetables and crops that the farm raised. He also raised a little garden on the side to feed his family. He didn't have a huge family, but my grandfather, my grandmother, and two boys, two girls. Like my grandfather, my father raised a garden. Nothing big, actually quite small, maybe a spot, when he first started, maybe a 10 by, well, actually probably 20 by 30, something like that. Not real big. He bought a tiller. He was able to work it up with a tiller, and we planted things that we would eat. Of course, tomatoes, cucumber, squash, green beans. Um, you know, the normal stuff that you plant. And year after year, his garden would get a little bigger. He'd try, a few more things. He started growing some corn. Uh, one year he grew peanuts just for fun because they really didn't turn out that great. He actually opened up another garden spot so that he could expand that and grow different kind of beans and all kinds of stuff. Of course, that meant that when I was a kid, I worked in that garden, so I learned how to garden. My mom, bless her heart, she would can all those vegetables, all those green beans, all those tomatoes, the corn. She worked her butt off canning everything, and we never ate all of it. She gave it away. Uh, some of it wound up going bad. Like my father, I guess I learned that you should grow a garden. And at the point that I had a home big enough for a garden spot, then, well, guess what I did? I got a garden spot. So I grew a garden for several years. My family wasn't that big. It was, two kids, husband, wife. I gave away a lot of stuff because we couldn't eat it all. I didn't can. Um, Pressure canners just scared the heck out of me. Uh, so I really gave away more stuff than what we ate. Once I retired, of course, I decided, well, let's grow a little garden. So I went and I bought a tiller, but now things are a little different, and because of my issues with my back, I can't handle running a tiller, so I have to hire a neighbor's kid, something like that, to till up the garden for me. I don't have a big spot, just little, but I've been growing a garden for the last 5 years. Now, in those 5 years, I've had good gardens, I've had bad gardens. Um, but like my father, we couldn't use all the food that we grew because it's just, you know, Alina and I, and that's it. I don't can still. I may make some bread and butter pickles in the refrigerator, but Lord have mercy, you can only get 6 jars of those in the refrigerator. I did freeze some stuff, but in all honesty, this year I wound up throwing out frozen vegetables that had gone bad because they've been in the freezer for 3 years. So we weren't eating all of it. So this year, when I started dragging out the stuff to do the garden, I actually had to go buy some things. I needed some stakes for the tomatoes and some trellis for the cucumbers and some peas. I realized how expensive it's gotten. I didn't buy that much, but I spent like 75 bucks at the store just for stakes and trellises and a few seeds. Uh, you know, these pack of seeds used to be like $1. Now they're like $3.50. I've looked at plants, pepper plants, tomato plants. They're $5 and $6 a piece. So I really got to thinking, you know, considering the cost and the time and the fact that I'm growing more than I could eat anyway, is growing a garden in retirement really worth it? I've just about decided that it's not. Now, this year, it's a little too late because I've already started. So I'm going to go ahead and grow one, but it's going to be really light. There ain't going to be a whole lot in there. And hopefully it'll be just enough for us and maybe a little to give to the neighbors. But when you figure in the cost and your time, now I realize that as a retiree, time is the one commodity that we have a lot of. However, like you, my time's valuable. I want to do things that I'm going to get some enjoyment out of. Now, I do enjoy gardening until the evening comes and my back lets me know that it was not a good idea to be out there getting the weeds out of the garden, or hoeing, breaking up the dirt so the air could get in, spreading fertilizer. Fertilizer, by the way, I looked at a bag the other day, $26 for a 40-pound bag of all-purpose garden fertilizer. Another thing that made me think. But after thinking about all that, I don't know that it's worth it anymore. If you got a big family and you're homesteading and you're going to can and freeze, and you and your family are going to eat on that food all year through the winter till next spring, and when you start new harvest, then yep, I get it. But for just a couple of old people in retirement, I think I'm going to cut down to maybe a couple of tomato plants so I can have a good tomato sandwich. And it might be the end of it. I'll let you know when it comes time next spring. But let me know what you think. If you've raised gardens before you retired, or after, do you still raise a garden now that you're retired? Or is it one of those things that you also decided that you can go to the farmer's market and get the same good fresh vegetables, organically grown, and you can buy only what you need and you don't wind up throwing it away because it goes bad? Is that something you decided to do and you said to heck with the garden? Let me know what you think. As always, I appreciate you watching. I hope it's beneficial to you. If you know somebody that will enjoy the video, share it. And if you like it, then by all means, subscribe. That way you can keep up with whatever we have coming out. Thanks again. Have a great day.